Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
We're hoping to learn more about a crash in Central Sioux Falls. KELOLAND's Kelly Volk was able to capture these pictures of the scene at 11th and Waltz. It happened around 1 o'clock this morning. You can see a pickup hit a building at the intersection.
The pickup could be seen partially in the building. There is torn up grass and a knocked down sign leading up to the building. We have reached out for more information and are waiting to hear back. Stay with KELOLAND News on air and online for updates as they become available. One man is behind bars this morning, charged in connection to a deadly shooting in Rapid City. It happened just before 7 o'clock Wednesday night in the area of Pine Street and East North Street. Police say officers arriving on scene found 25-year-old Esther Wolf with critical injuries.
She was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. 23-year-old Ezekiel Mayweather is charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit a felony. A Rapid City man remains behind bars accused of killing a woman. 64-year-old Brent Kurtzman is charged with first-degree murder and first-degree arson. He's accused of killing 54-year-old Julie Fisk on Tuesday and starting a fire.
Few other details have been released in the case. Kurtzman is scheduled to be back in court next month.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Cooling off a few degrees to start the weekend, Scott.
Yeah, just a few degrees here and there. We'll have a stronger northwest wind, too. That will help bring in some cooler weather. But temperatures will still be above average, 30s, 40s, 50s. 30s may hold today, eastern, extreme northeastern South Dakota. Otherwise, 44 in Sioux Falls, 51 Pierre, and 53 in Rapid City. The weekend's looking mild. Temperatures in the 50s, but turning colder Tuesday of next week. And Brian will have more details on that forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. From streetlights in problem areas to a gun buyback program, the Crow Creek Sioux Tribe in central South Dakota is making changes to keep people safe. Last summer, the tribe declared a state of emergency because of the gun violence and death they were seeing. The tribal chairman says there are gaps that aren't being covered by the law enforcement on the reservation, which is ran by the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
So they started a security task force of 12 tribal members who patrol and help people every weekend. Chairman says the idea for this stems from their tribal history.
We put in place a Kichita, which in Dakota means kind of like camp police. They're the ones that took care of those kinds of things in the camp long ago. And so we reached back to our past and brought forward our Akichita and put them in place with great effectiveness and high success.
To learn more about what the task force does and why it was created, visit this story on KELOLAND.com. The Denny Sanford Premier Center is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. A variety of events have taken place inside the four-level facility over the years. The Premier Center plans to announce a special concert on Monday.
10 years ago, Jason Aldean broke in the stage as the first one to perform at the facility, something entertainment managers said is a benefit of the Premier Center's location.
Have to go through Sioux Falls, so that helps the probability of getting a bigger act.
The Premier Center is a multi-million-dollar building. One of their first events they held was the Summit League tournament in 2014. The organizers of the 2024 Sioux Falls Snowcross are racing to get the track finished in time.
Due to a lack of snow this winter, the track design and builder is going to haul in snow to the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds to finish the track for next weekend's races.
So you said you've had to do this other places, so you kind of know what you're up against?
Yeah, this season's been a tough one for us, but we've pulled every event off.
Nathy says they're planning on hauling in between 300 and 400 truckloads of snow starting Monday.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our forecast here today as we look ahead toward your weekend. We're watching some clouds developing on a cold front arriving from North Dakota. You can see some of that low-level moisture just trying to inch farther south. So that is one consideration today with some of these temperatures east river. Obviously, our going forecast is a few degrees colder than yesterday, and certainly in the far northeastern tip of KELOLAND, we'll likely feel that effect even just a little bit more as the hourly numbers tend to stay mostly in the 30s today. Our Watertown, Brookings forecast is in the middle 30s. Still, for February, this really isn't that much to write home about, but it is cooler, relatively speaking. Sioux Falls today, our going high is 44. We've got a northwest wind, 15 to 25. Rapid City, you've got more wind today, but you're also a few degrees warmer as a result of that. Forecast tonight, we'll lose some of this wind. In fact, we'll steer the winds around to the southwest for Saturday. And after some 20s in the morning, here we go again. We're going to warm back up into the 50s tomorrow. Wind speeds will be strongest in north central and northwestern South Dakota, but pretty easy to take even on Sunday as we maybe trim some of these numbers in northeast South Dakota. Let's look at these maps. We'll kick off the weekend with those 50s, very common across KELOLAND. You'll see on the Sunday map, though, the northeast will be down just a few degrees. Not a big change, but just some changes there. Notice your 60s in Nebraska. Guess what that's going to do? We get into Monday, and here we go. We're into possible record territory, 60s, and maybe a few 70s still could show up. I'm still on board with that idea. I don't necessarily think that's going to be necessarily widespread, but to hear about a couple of 70s around should be in the forecast by Monday. All right, with all that said, here are the numbers today. 37 degrees in Brookings, 47 in Mitchell, your 7-day forecast. 50s for the weekend in Sioux Falls, cooling to 51 on Sunday, 66 Monday. Tuesday, this cold front comes barreling in. It's going to have some wind with it. It may produce some chance of some light rain and light snow. At this point, though, nothing that's major for forcing for a big storm. So we'll get some temperature shakeups. It'll feel colder. Overnight lows will drop, but then that will move off. And we're already anticipating another surge of mild air coming at the tail end of the 7-day and rolling into the following weekend. And that's a story that would be pretty widespread across KELOLAND. So just to communicate all that, here's Pierre, another example of 50s into the weekend, mid-60s by Monday, and Rapid City. I don't expect a lot of differences here. We should be close to 60 for the weekend, mid-60s likely on Monday. Check out all the details online at KELOLAND.com.